Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Friday, October 31st. Happy Halloween 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with the big picture. Before I jump into this, I do want to mention that this week, wickedstocks.com put out two stock picks, one on Immunovant and the other on MongoDB. If you're familiar with either one of those, or even if you're not familiar, you can check them out for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll see both of them. And if you do that, you'll see next week's two stock picks that we put out as well. We're always looking for at least 20% moves on those underlying stocks in the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month time horizon. And that you'll also get our daily SPY and triple Q analysis, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So check out wickedstocks.com. So Tesla, big picture, weekly chart going back almost 6 years. 364.02. We settled above that structure about 2 months ago, anticipating now 526.25 as our next long-term target. We've used this 5 to 8 months as an objective. We're a couple of months into that, so you could say 3 to 5 months now. And the reason why we are taking so much time anticipating it is because we've had this rising channel top at 485.61 on the weekly chart. The same structure on the daily chart is 481.84. This is an area we'd mentioned could contain buying pressures on a monthly basis. And once tested, the market then quite susceptible to falling away, perhaps all the way back to what is channel support now in the 370s. We actually show that here on the daily chart. You can see 370, 362, and that is really about a 10-point range now, all the way down to 364.02, that long-term support area. That remains in reach. I don't expect it. I'm just going to use the word attainable. So attainable, in fact, that you actually could set that trade. Now, if you're talking kind of the 2 to 3 week, 3 to 5 week time frame, we have support now at 408.64. We did have a former rising channel top that actually held pretty well last week, around 413, 414 now, but we're lowering the support just a little bit to take into account this pretty classic channel bottom that may well contain selling through next week or on a weekly basis. I don't expect it necessarily by the end of next week, but I do think this market is susceptible to falling back to 408.33 after Thursday's sell signal below not only the 451.60 level, but really this channel top that we've been using for the last few days. We closed above it a few days ago, held nicely for about 2 days in a row until yesterday, Thursday. And, we opened just below it and we continued south. It is 451.60 to 452.25. This area is a sellable resistance, not only for day traders, but even what I would call 3 to 5 day swing traders. Sure. This could happen by the end of next week. I'm going to call this a 1 to 2 week sell signal right now below this 451.60 to 452.25 area. On the way down today, we do have a 5/8 downside Fibonacci, and that is from that October low against the more recent high from earlier this week. It can contain intraday, possibly daily selling pressures. And yes, if we close today below 432.67, we are indeed 3 to 5 days away from testing 408.33, where we could bottom out not only through next week, but even through the following week and round up into later November. Now, if we do close below 408.33 over the next week or two, we're just another week or two away from reaching that previously mentioned 373.62 channel bottom, which I'd mentioned is like a 1 to 2 month possibility following the testing of this resistance area, wrong chart, in the low 480s. At the time, it was in the 450s. It's already climbed into the 480s, and that is the weekly chart here, 485.61. So, we're a month into this, and I'd mentioned 2 months. We could see the 360s, 370s again, albeit still within the framework of a long-term buy signal that still anticipates 526.25 as with this 5 to 8 month target. If we do over the next week or two close below 408.64, and it is expected below the low 450s, 408.64 remains an objective below this 451.60 to 452.25 area. So 3 to 5 day swing traders can play the short side. 1 to 2 week swing traders can play the short side, depending on how long it takes to fall into this 408.33 region. If we close today below 432.67, we should within 3 to 5 days test 408.33. Where if you've been short, if you got short, whether that was over the last few days or whatever the case may be, or whether it was on Thursday's settlement, that sell signal below 451.60, whatever the case may be, if you're short and your time horizon for trading is anywhere from 3 to 5 days out to 2 to 3 weeks, my suggestion is to at least cover some of that short position at 408.33. In fact, if you're an aggressive 2 to 3 week swing trader, you can reverse and go long at 408.33, possibly allowing upward rotation back into the 480s within several weeks. Once again, though, if we close below 408.33 in the coming week or two, 373.62 likely within another week or two, where combined with 364.02, we can bottom out through the rest of the year, and from here round up through the first quarter back into the 526.25 area.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Here we are. So, upside, if we happen to close today above 452.25, then this was a bit of a head fake to the downside. I think this does, though, sell signal below the low 450s carry with it weight, literally 408.33 and reach over the next week or two. But if we close above 452.25, the market reverses yet again. The low to mid 480s likely within a week, 2 at the very most. 481.84 is the beginning of a range up to 485.61 that should be respected for its ability to contain not only daily, not only weekly, but even monthly buying pressures. And yes, last thing I will say is that if we do over the next few weeks close above 485.61, you can finally anticipate that 526.25 targeted long-term resistance area within just another 2 to 3 weeks, where, I might add, we find a 5-year channel top, well suited to contain buying on a quarterly, possibly annual basis. And I'm going to leave it at that. I think I mentioned we put out the 2 stock picks at the beginning of this audio, so I'm not going to mention that again. Now, have a happy Halloween. Have a great weekend. I'll be back Sunday, of course, with Monday's Tesla report. Take care.